welcome or welcome back to my channel. So today I needed to film content, but I also needed to film a YouTube video. And I thought, why don't I take you along on what I do, what all I do, and all of the things that go along with it. So if you're struggling with like marketing, video production, all of that, stick around because I have some tips, some tricks, some ideas, and a whole day planned for us. So in this video, I'm going to talk about what I do, where I post, my schedule, and how I keep myself from going crazy because I also have a full-time job on top of content creation and running my small business. So if any of that piques your interest, you're also curious about it, stick around. I have a whole note section that I just jotted down. I have some more sticky notes because I have some more ideas to do. And then you've seen it before, my content planning board. I'm going to take you through that too. So just come along with me. Just come on. We're going to be busy. So to start talking about what I do, I feel like just showing my schedule is going to make the most sense and then kind of go backwards. So this is for my 12-week year. If you haven't seen that video, I'll put it in the cards. Hopefully editing day is just doing that. But I have it scheduled out what I do every day so then I can work backwards and figure out what I need to film. So technically, today's Sunday, but I'm snowed in, so I have more flexibility because today's supposed to be my editing day. However, I'm actually going to film today and start editing for this video. So I have it scheduled out what I need to do so that way I know what I need to film. So like I have been uploading a YouTube video every Wednesday so that way I know that I need to film. I pretty much upload a short form video every single day. So I know on my filming day, I need to make sure I at least have 7 videos in the tank to post. And then this is my editing day so I can edit the YouTube video and the shorts. And then we'll get more into email and Pinterest. But setting up a schedule is going to help you. And you also need it to stay consistent because before I didn't really have a filming day. I just filmed when I felt like it, edited when I felt like it. And I would still get my short form videos up, but it wasn't helpful for my consistency. And sometimes I was stressed. And then for YouTube, sometimes it just wouldn't happen because I didn't have a video to edit because I didn't film anything. So just whatever makes sense for you, being able to schedule it out. Now, I know what you're thinking. What is it? We're about to get into that because I'm going to show you everywhere I post, what I think is worth my time, what I think is not necessarily worth my time, but I'm still doing it just to try to like test it out because I can't truly say that until I've been consistent and able to see what works. And then some of these other cards are just showing me like upcoming dates and what is approaching. That way I can be like vigilant and be ready for it. Okay, so I'm going to lay out kind of like my social media pillars, what I'm doing for each one. I'm going to try my best to like write these out in order of importance. My number one concern when it comes to marketing, posting is Instagram. After Instagram, I would say TikTok. I would say that YouTube is a concern. However, YouTube is not a marketing strategy for me. YouTube is more about like sharing my business and like what I'm doing. I'm not actually trying to sell you a product. I'm just telling you how my business is going. So I'm not going to put YouTube. After those, I'd probably put email marketing before because I feel like that's my next one. And then after that, I'd say Pinterest. And then my last area are Facebook, like groups. So don't worry, I'm going to talk more about each one and what I do. And then I'm also going to take you just behind the scenes of each one. So the really good thing about Instagram and TikTok is being able to repurpose. So like I said before, Instagram is my main concern. However, the cool thing is whatever I post on Instagram, I can literally just transfer it over to TikTok. So I'm going to take you along with me today as I batch reels, but batching is my number one tool, my number one tip, my number one thing that I always do for short form. With batching, I don't have to worry about like what to post the day of. Well, even though I still kind of do that because I have the videos made, I'm just choosing which one. But like batching your content makes it where you already have everything ready. You're not having to film in the moment. The only thing, if you're trying to do something trendy and it just came out, you might have to make a video. Otherwise, everything I do is batched ahead of time. Like I said, on TikTok, I'm like reposting what I posted on Instagram. There's very rare I make something just for TikTok. They usually go, whatever I make normally goes on both. However, I am starting to sell on TikTok Shop, which I think will make it where I probably need to post more on TikTok than I'm already posting on Instagram, but that's not the current problem. So when I'm talking about Instagram, there are different kind of videos that I like to do. And it's also going to depend on what kind of Instagram you have. All right. Is yours just for your business? Like, do you only post business? Or is it more like lifestyle plus your business? What I mean by that, I have a bookish Instagram called a Bookstagram. All of my products are also bookish. So I mostly share about like book reviews, things I'm doing like in the book world, but I also promote my business through this. Or you might have a shop or an account that just focuses on your business. So you're not going to be posting things about like what you're reading, what your dog is doing, things like that. So figuring out which one makes the most sense for you. Sometimes I wish I was more this one because I don't want to seem too pushy or too salesy on the one where I like normally make funny book videos or I like do reviews or book hauls or bookish challenges. So sometimes it's a challenge for balancing what I'm going to do. However, I do have some ideas. So some things I like to do. First of all, packing videos. These can be real short form, like short form videos or packing on my story. So I've done some one day when I like just packed videos and I just made story after story of me packing and just talking. I also like to do subtle marketing. So I'm going to insert a clip today of something that I posted. But basically in the video, I have a book and I'm matching my tabs to the book cover, which is something I do in my Etsy shop. And I have my new annotation key there that I put the tabs on after. So it's like a subtle like promotion where I'm showing a product that I have, but I'm not like, here is this annotation kit I've made, buy this. And in my story, I can put the video and then I can also put a link to the product. And then I also like to do like giveaways, which I'm actually doing a giveaway right now. So, and the giveaway is promoting my Valentine's Day collection. So that's what I'm giving away. And I also like to do like gift guides. This is really good for especially carousels. So showing like who your products are perfect for or what you would do with them. So basically using these to promote but not be overly salesy. And I'm going to take you along today because I am going to do some more social media content. Like I said, a lot of this repurpose in here. If you remember earlier, I said my filming day is Saturday. I like to batch my stuff on Saturday. That's just the day that works for me. I don't work on Saturday. So that's a day that I wake up, I have all morning, and something I haven't talked about yet, but utilizing when you feel the best to make your content. So for me, I'm a morning person. I like to plan out my ideas in the morning. By mid morning, almost afternoon, get my filming done. If I wait too late, I know I'm going to struggle with it. And then again, TikTok is TikTok is mostly the same because I am repurposing that content. A kind of video that I post just on YouTube and also on my Facebook just for people that care is I do like a weekend in the live, like what I'm doing in my shop. And people like those behind the scenes, but I don't really post those on Instagram because it doesn't really fit with the bookish thing. It's solely but business focused, if that makes sense. It's not a one size fits all. You have to figure out what makes the most sense for the type of account and business you have. Something that I haven't said already is also finding your audience. With the bookish community, there's already a big reader community on Instagram. So I built up my followers by just posting reviews long before I even had a business. So I think just finding the people that care about what you're promoting is going to be very big in helping you find customers. Email marketing. So when I started out, people were like, you need an email list, you need an email list. And I'm like, okay, one, how do I get people to join my list? And two, what do I even send them? So what I ended up doing, so my business is mostly about annotation, right? So I made a free annotation guide. All you had to do is sign up for my email list and you got the annotation guide. And with this, a lot of people don't know about annotation. So a lot of people want to try, maybe figure out more about it. So a lot of people are signing up for that. But that's just a one-time thing, right? So then I also created a seasonal freebie. And what the seasonal freebie was, at Christmas, I made 8 coloring bookmarks that all they had to do is go to the landing page, put in their email, and I would send them the free bookmarks. So this got people coming to my site, which I use kit.com. They got to Kit, put their stuff in, and now they're on my email marketing. And I would say it's been pretty successful. I have around 200, maybe 240 subscribers, which is really good if you think about it. Like, for the most part, no one wants to sign up for an email list, right? But that's been converting pretty well. So I'm just thinking of like other ways I can lead people to this funnel. The other thing that I had to do when I first started making emails, I was not consistent. So that's why it got added into my schedule. Like for me, the short form part was already easy because I was already doing this anyways. I love making reels, I love making content. So I was already doing that. This part was harder because I wasn't already sending an email. So just sketching out like the pillars of what you want to include. So like in my emails, I usually do what I'm reading because I do have a reading, platform. What I'm working on. Sometimes I share like a fun like thing like a playlist or something like that. I usually link whatever new YouTube video I just put out and like why they might care about it, and then any products I want to promote. And this has kind of been the format of what I've been doing lately. It's been going decent. I just know that being consistent, which is my word of the year, consistency, being consistent with it, it's going to be fruitful. I just have to keep going because if I give up, it's not going to be successful. It can't be. All right. And then the last two are a little bit more, these two are a little bit more simple and they kind of go together. So if you notice on my calendar earlier, there's a Pinterest icon. What I've been doing on Pinterest is one post a day. But I'm not actually posting it in real time. I'm scheduling these posts a month in advance. So this past month, in January, I did a big batching day on a Saturday and I made 30 pins, and I scheduled one to post each day. So these pins ranged from, like in January, my big push was my growth era. So like everybody has these resolutions. They're starting their goals. They're starting their new year. They're making vision boards. So some of my posts that I scheduled included actually how to make this board. Some of them showed my growth era annotation kit, how to use it, just different like pins promoting products or things that I'm doing and posting them there. That way you get eyes just on your, products, your business, because Pinterest is very aesthetic, especially if you have an aesthetic niche or an aesthetic way of doing something. It's really good for that. And when I first started on Pinterest, I only had like a 200 monthly users or 200 monthly viewers, period. I did share, because I had shared a little bit of book information, but not much. But now I'm up to almost 5,000 monthly views a month. So that's just different people getting their eyes on my products. Facebook groups. If you can find a Facebook group that is in your niche that will allow you to post, that would be great. So one of the Facebook groups I'm in is the Book Talk Girlies, and I pay $20 a month to the admin, and I get to promote my business 3 times a week. This one has been interesting because at first I made some sales. Lately, I haven't been making very many sales, but I have been posting about my freebie. So I'll like post pictures of my annotated books, and everybody's like, wow, that's so cool. And instead of linking to a product, I have been linking to that free guide, which means they're now signing up for my email marketing. This is where I think the bulk of my signups from the email marketing has come from, is people being interested in these book groups and signing up. So even if you can't, they might not have a situation like this where you can pay to promote. However, if you can find a way to be able to, use your link for your email sign up with whatever you're creating, this could be beneficial. So I'm going to keep tracking this one and just see how it converts, because if it stops converting, then I probably won't, keep posting. But $20 a month for that promotion really isn't that bad, especially when my target audience is literally the people in the group. And I also have like blind date with a book, stuff like that. So like it's not just for annotators. So this kind of lays out what I do. Like this gets the most of my energy, kind of this one too, because it piggybacks. And then descending. So like this one takes a couple hours on a Saturday, but I'm scheduled and posted all the way, I think, all the way through January. And since I'm snowed in, I'll probably go ahead, even though I'm not supposed to have to do that until this weekend, I may go ahead and work on Pinterest a little bit today. No, that's a lie. While I'm snowed in. So before I go back to school. So I'm going to take you with me and show you kind of like what the batching process looks like, and kind of just the filming and the editing and more of a deep dive. So come along with me. So this is more about just editing in general. But like I said, I do lifestyle, it's bookish. So this is a post that I think will do well, but I just want to show you how I kind of edit. This one might be different because I did play around with one picture and I can tell that my normal settings are not about to work. But upload into Canva, just the picture, whatever you're going to use. Set it as the background if it already works for size. And then what I really like about Canva, they have different editing tools that make it really good. You can remove the background if you have Pro. I should have said that. You can erase things. So if you happen to be an educator, you do get Canva Pro for free. But if I stopped teaching today, this would be the one thing that I would get still. But their filters are really great. The ones I use for product photos, let me show you really quick. The one I use for product photos, I do edit. I go to the warm setting Capri because it's like a very white, but it's still kind of warm. And then I just adjust the temperature and make it more cool tone, and it kind of balances out, and it usually keeps my pictures pretty true to color. For this post, like I said, I'm having to play around with the settings because due to like the warm nature of the photo, when I use those exact settings, it looked very washed out. But Canva, especially for making carousels, has been my go-to. And with this post, I'm actually going to just talk about my reading nook, what I have going on in there, all my favorite things, and I will probably put, I don't know if you've ever seen before how creators will say, if you want to shop my setup, comment the word heart and I will send it to you. I will set up a code on ManyChat. That way I can link my Amazon storefront and link the place where I got all of these things at. And that way, if somebody's curious, they can shop my link and then I can make a little bit of commission off of it. So a little win-win situation. I actually want to make this bigger so it cuts out that bottom where I put that. I can't cut it out completely. But yeah, and then here what I'm doing, I have the exact settings that I like. I'm hitting the 3 dots, copying the style with the paintbrush, and then just boop. And then sometimes it'll make it look like it changed it to that photo, but it's going to revert back in a second and it'll have the same filter temperature setting that I did on that one on this picture too. Like I said, carousels are good. They've been doing pretty well. The tip for the carousels, first of all, I'll make sure it's more than one photo because that's what makes it a carousel. If you have more than one photo, if I'm on Instagram and I see your post and I don't interact with it, I don't like it, I see it and just move on. If I leave Instagram and come back in, it's going to show me your post again, but it's going to show me the second picture as if I've never seen it before. Just trying to give me like another chance to interact with it. So carousels are really good for being able to um, show up more than once and give the post a chance to get interaction. Also, if you're showing people value, like teaching them something, giving them something, um, they're more likely to share it because the biggest thing for growth is shareability. So, like, people love my snack caddy and like my little canopy. So, I will make sure like post like those parts are up front. I'll probably still make the tree, the um, I'll probably still make this like the cover photo because I think this one's really cute. But I had one instead of this one. I had one where I have my cup up too. So I don't know which one I like more, but I will play around with that when it's time and when I feel like posting it to do that. And I may go ahead and do it like while it's snowy out because it does give the pops. All right. One kind of video that I mentioned earlier that I think is really good are order packing videos, especially if you have like a cute setup. Now I have not always had this cute setup, so I'm going to show you in a little bit what I used to do that would be a much more affordable idea. But for now, I'm going to pack these and get this together. So I'm gonna have to switch you because you're on my phone, which is what I used to record. Um, but all I'm gonna basically do is just take the order, like whatever it is, show it, and pack it how I normally would. Pro tip, and I actually did this the other day. I'm not ashamed of this. I will tell you this. I fake packed an order. So my contemporary romance blind date with a book like set has not been selling. So I fake wrapped it like it was going to a customer just to be able to show it off so they could see it. And then I made it like a Valentine's Day one and I put my bookmark sticker combination with it just to promote those as well. So if you don't actually have any orders, fake them. Luckily, that's not something like normally especially if it's the annotation kits, I don't have to do that. Like if you say those are truly orders. But for the ones that are not selling, I did that. You can do that too. So anyway, I'm gonna stop yapping and first of all, I need to see what the order is, and then I'm gonna record those. Hopefully, because it just occurred to me I might have to print something. Okay, BRB. Okay, editing Daisha here. So during this part, I even said that I might have to come on and do a voiceover because I was printing at the same time and the audio just isn't as great because I was using the iPad instead of my microphone situation. So I thought I would just come on this way. But, anyways, so I love this light panel. It is very bright. It helps me be able to make the best of any situation because one of the hardest things about making product photos is the lighting. So, and then even just recording content for me in general, this is one of the best Christmas presents I got. So I will try to remember to link it down below, along with my other things that I have that I use to create content. So anyway, on the screen, you're going to see that I'm talking, but I just cut the audio, but I'm just going to tell you what I'm saying. So I use the wall. Most of my products are up there. I just grab it off and I have my phone on the stand. And as I do things, I'm just hitting pause on iPhone at least. I don't know about other recording devices like other phones, but you can pause instead of stop the recording. So like I grabbed the bookmark off, I brought it into the camera to show you what it was, and then I moved the bookmark out of the screen and hit pause. And then now I'm putting the tabs on it. And when I go back to move the bookmarks with the tabs on it, I'm going to hit play on the recording. And so it starts recording again, and I'm going to move it back into the frame. Now, you can just leave the video recording, or you could just do several different clips. This is just my preferred method because it's just easier to have one solid clip, but it doesn't make the clip, 10 minutes long. So that is a thing I like to utilize, is just pausing the clip between the different takes that I need. And that helps me to speed up the process. So in this one, I was talking about what I was packing. I think it was a fantasy kit. So I was looking for just the tabs that I needed to put on there. And this part usually takes a while. Sometimes I will film me putting these on there, or I might film one or two, but typically it takes me a minute. I'm very particular, and I like, making sure it's the best that it can be. And I also like to talk. So it was taking a little bit longer. But one thing I love about this setup versus what I used to have is all my things are in one place. Sorry, I'm watching myself. I don't know if the audio is going to line up to this part, but the picture, for some reason, the paper came out of the printer and I was so confused about which way I needed to turn it to make it right. Anyways, but I just love the setup so much because everything I need is pretty much right here before. And the setup I'm going to show you later, in case you don't have a setup like this, I was having to take everything into the kitchen because it has the best lighting. So I would have to remember to grab everything versus everything is pretty much right here for these packing videos. So that's why I've mostly been sticking to this style lately, because I don't know, I love this setup. I'm happy I went back and got the pegboards. I could still use some more room, to be honest, but it's definitely working out. Like my stickers in here, I just walked over and got the tassel. So but I think just making sure that the process works for you. So like starting out, I was watching all these like videos of how to make the perfect room setup because I wanted the perfect aesthetic setup to be able to record videos. And I did buy some things, but a lot of things I just repurposed. The tables I'm working on are actually just white folding tables, and I just put a white cloth over them. You know, like what I love to have more like work tables in here that are specific to what I'm doing. Sure. But for now, this works for me. And the reason I have tablecloths is because I have storage underneath here. So just doing whatever works for you. So yeah, I'm happy that it's grown to this point where I can do these in here. And I just have like an empty glass jar where I'm setting all the products inside, so that way everybody can see like what I'm doing as I'm going. And I'm going to mention this more later, but keeping everything at a peppy pace. Like I'm trying my best to like pack it quickly, but then when I edit it, I'm cutting all the lulls. And you're going to see that in a little while because I'm going to take you through editing a video that I made today, like in this video, to show you like what it looks like when we put it together. Yeah, my shipping supplies is just over there too. So the important thing, like people like to see the behind the scenes. It makes it like a real person, someone else is packing it. So that's one of the reasons I think packing orders, like videos, do so well. I only got that cut, and now I'm ready to package that one up. I'm gonna move the stand a little bit closer over here because that's where the bookmarks are. So another video that I'm not recording right now, but you could, people love to see the behind the scenes. So you could this is actually what I'm doing now with you, but I'm not doing it for short form. This is for long form. But you could just do clips of you doing these things, and you could do a voiceover. So I have a segment. It's not really a segment, but every video that I do, I say, clock in, bestie, we're going to blah, 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 blah. And I just take them through like a weekend working in my studio, and people enjoy seeing that. And then I show like packing orders, like doing like lifestyle things. So it's a really good idea. I had to pause we're in the middle of the winter storm whenever you're watching this. I'm guessing it's on Wednesday. And my mother and my grandmother were on the road going to my aunt's because they lost power. And anyways, back to the point of the video. So the order is for 2 of the fantasy bookmarks, and then my one of my horror slasher bookmarks. So I already have those set up, so I'm not gonna like spend a long time like digging through them, but it looks like I'm digging through them because you want to cut all lulls. And I might even go through like editing a video. So here I'm gonna pull. I just realized I mixed those in. Should not have done that. So it's already recorded, but I'm just gonna cut all of that out. So go back, grab all of those, and I'm just gonna like flash all of them and only pull out the one I need. And And that's just for the theatrics. Now other people have seen all the bookmarks that I offered for those. The two of these. I'm going to put them together. I'll go in their sleeve. And I would really like to put these, like I could show this part, but the problem is with it being up in there, I'm trying to like make sure I don't turn it around. I've already wrote the address where it's going. Yeah, make sure this isn't more than 1 ounce. Please. Haha, 0.9. Okay. It's 2 videos that could have been recorded quicker if I already had that bookmark made. But, so that's like an option for order packing. And then I'm going to take you to the kitchen and show you some more ideas. This is another place that I like to be at because the lighting in the dining room area is really good. And I usually sit at the table. I have another panel in here. Same situation as the other one where I shine it at the ceiling to bounce the more natural, softer light off. You could also get a light box, but I don't have one. And this is like my tried and true, like the one thing, especially if you're creating like products that can lay down, like my bookmark. So before I had the whole pegboard situation, I just used this. So this is literally like a wood board. It's like just a perfect square. And I have contact paper affixed to it. I don't know the word I'm looking for, but there's just contact paper stuck to it. This one's my favorite one, the wood one. And I lay it here and I will like pack videos. I like to do my annotation videos on here, journaling, all of that. And they have different ones. Oh, also didn't say this. One side is wood. The other one is black wood. I also have one that's just plain white, plain black. I have like a marble one. I have white brick. So just changing it out where I have different options. But I'll be completely honest, the gray wood one is my favorite. The marbles look very clean. However, they will have a glare. So like sometimes if the light is like still too bright and it's bouncing off, it will create like the glare where you can see the light. So this like matte finish on the wood is great for that. I'm going to do another subtle way to do marketing. So I just finished this book. I annotated it using one of my annotation keys. So now I'm going to like make the front cover that I like to make. So this kind of goes for a couple of different videos. 1, I sell kits. 2, I sell annotated books. So they'll also see like what the key looks like if they bought one. And I might see if I can throw this in there too. If not, I might make a whole other video, which you're welcome to do. So I'm going to switch you over to the iPad because I need the phone to make the actual content. I mentioned earlier, I do use this like stand and it can fold out so that way I can shoot down. Also need to change it back this way because that's how you shoot for short form versus long form. All the settings are different from going from one to the other. I might turn on the light. Yeah, it kind of just brightens it up. Can you see the snow outside? All right. I just remembered I'm not mic'd up for this because it's not on the iPad, so I might not do that much talking, but I will show you the end result. Working in the dining room is definitely a gamble because sometimes my husband's in here making noise and I just can't record. But I really wasn't going to talk during this point anyway, so I think I'll just do a voiceover just to tell you what I was doing. So again, I just have my phone set up here. The light is on. I just love looking at the snow out the window. And I'm just doing some like sneaky product placement. So as I'm making the actual video of making the the annotation page. I'm just moving my annotation key around so that way you can see it. So it's not like a very obvious kind of sale, but it's definitely showing you that it's there. This is what I use. And in the video, I even transfer the tabs over to the annotation key. Honestly, I'm really happy I didn't record this whole thing because it ended up taking a lot of time. My phone is actually set up on a time lapse with a job that takes this much time and there's this much detail. I will usually record a time lapse instead. That way it's cutting most of the lulls for me. That way I'm not having to do a whole lot of recording. Or sometimes I just won't show the whole process. Like I might put down a sticker, pause the video, put down some washi tape, pause the video kind of thing. I just thought of one more idea. So earlier I said I could use that in the other video. I'm actually just going to make it a separate one. But I actually pulled every single magnetic bookmark that I own. And I pulled one book for each bookmark of books that I love. And I'm going to start, like I might stand them up or something, I don't know. But I'm going to flip through and it'll be like where the bookmark is. Or maybe I'll start with the bookmark and then flip it close so you can see the book. I don't know yet. First things first, I need to put the bookmarks in each book. So since they're annotated, most of them, I'll probably leave the ones that aren't annotated out of this part. But I'm literally just going to like stand these up underneath the camera so you just get the tabs. Because people love the tabs. Oh, I also had it still on live. Like I just started recording under the phone. Slide these in. Show off the tabs, and then on screen text I'll probably put like something about pairing my favorite books with a little bookish goodie. So I can't decide if I want to do like this first. Let's see. Yeah, we'll do that first. So bookmark and the book pairing. Slide it over. Bookmark. Book pairing. Okay. So that is 4 videos. And like I said, you don't have to post every day. I don't post marketing ones every day. If you can think of anything funny or anything trending that makes sense for your niche, that's a good idea too. All right, we're at the final stages. So I did 4 videos today. Like you could do more, you could do less. Like I said, you could do some like literal promotion, like talking about your products. I don't do as much of those because I talk a lot about annotation, so like I feel like everybody hears it a lot. But recently I did do like a mini series on Instagram where I like, if you have a product where there's like a lot of confusion around it, a lot of like things to know about it, I did a series like how to get started annotating. So like each video is like the same setup so people know it's like part of a series, and I put series episode 1, episode 2, episode 3. I might put some of those up on the screen. But for now, I'm going to upload. Let me start screen recording. I guess it'll let me screen record this. I'm going to upload one of the videos that we just did. This one. And so like here, I'm going, hopefully I can line this up on the screen. The editing might get a little wonky because I'm cutting, but I'm going to take out the part where my hand wasn't grabbing anything. As soon as my hand leaves the frame here, I'm going to cut this video and cut it again, only when my hand comes back in the frame. I'm going to go ahead and hit volume and turn off all volume on all clips because I was talking to you on the other camera while I was recording this. And I'm basically just cutting out any lulls. So if I'm not doing anything, that's getting cut. Like right here, I'm waiting my hand come into the frame with the pen right when it comes in right there. If there's no motion, it's gone. Good. And like as soon as I drop the pen, clip, done. Grab the highlighter, pen. The opposite of what I just said. Drop the pen, boom, gone. Cut the clip. And I'm looking, I went over there and grabbed the sticker. So this time I'm just going to split the clip right here. And cut that first part. And drop that in. Boom. So this is taking like a 2-minute video. Down, I would bet like 30 seconds. And then I remember I was struggling with the bag, so I'm just going to cut all of that. I'm going to like literally get the part right when I drop it in the bag. Perf. Clip there. Grab the pen. Drop it in. Drop the highlighter in. And grab the sticker. Drop it in. And seal her up. So I'm going to get right when I grip that. Cut that there. Also, I didn't mention this. A lot of people do like to edit short form and long form on the computer. Personally, I've just been doing this on my phone for a long time. So I'm just used to like the process with my fingers. So I don't mind it. Some people hate it. It's honestly whatever floats your boat. Also, I've been having some like storage issues, like transferring between the computer to my phone. So whatever I can do to help myself. Oop. All right, so you see here, I tried to grab it, but it doesn't actually come off. So I'm going to cut right there. Take off the part where I messed up, and then just get the part where I actually got it. So now it'll look like that. As soon as my hand comes out the frame, boom, cut that. I'll get me folding it. And cut it in. Then I'll go get the Books with Dave sticker. Alright, there we go. From like 2 minutes to 36 seconds. And now I'm just going to go back and make sure there's not any lulls. For some reason this is lagging, but it could be because I'm like screen recording. I might even take some of that out. And then I'm also going to like maybe put some on-screen text like pack order with me, because that kind of gets people's attention, especially if that's what they're looking for. And then for Instagram, I'm going to go ahead and add like a trending audio while I'm in the editing app. And that's beautiful. So yeah, I'm going to add pack and order for me, not for me, with me in my small business. And like I said, these kind of videos for me go mostly on YouTube shorts, but they can work on your Instagram, TikTok, and I am using my branding color pink for this. And I'm going to cut the text a little bit earlier than I normally would because you can't see the annotation kit. And then I'm going to add my trending audio, whatever I choose. I don't actually know yet. And that would be the video. So I was going to do more of the videos just to show you, but that already took 5 minutes of screen recording. But when you think about it, it's not that long. It's just the fact that I don't want to have to transfer all that over. So also look at this nice little stand that I got. I don't know what it's called. So I hope that helps. I hope that you feel more confident now. Just kind of like map out what you want to do. make a plan, and just get like a little bit of equipment to help you. If I could only buy three things, it would literally be the three things I showed you today. The light thing. This is the pod that I have. I will say, I think I messed it up because sometimes it'll like, I don't know, be kind of wonky, but I think I did that when I think I broke it. But it goes like super tall, stuff like that. So this is like my favorite one. I do like this one, but it's very short. You know what I mean? Like it's less versatile. This one you can make work a little bit more. And then I would take a board and put that contact paper on it. That way you have like a nice clean place. But thank you for hanging out with me. Like I said, I hope this helps. Let me know if you have any questions, anything else you want to see. Do all the things like comment, subscribe, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye.